Hello, fifth graders. It's Miss Anderson here to teach you some math this week. In your packet, you have two math pages to work on. Page 298, Reviewing Decimal Addition and Subtraction, is the one that we are going to focus on in this video. Let's start with our at-home classroom norms. Our first at-home classroom norm says have a positive attitude. Make sure to be ready to learn when you watch this video. Our second one says, be respectful. Be respectful to yourself and to the teacher who's teaching. Our third one says, keep trying even when it gets hard. Some of these will be review, but some of these concepts will be new to you. So it's okay to ask for help when it gets hard. As you're looking at page 298, reviewing decimal addition and subtraction, you can see that the top part is all adding decimals and the bottom here, number 2, is subtracting decimals. Then you have a mix of some more problems on the bottom. So friends, we're going to start with standard algorithm for adding decimals. And I know that the standard algorithm for adding decimals is the same as for adding whole numbers. However, I'm going to focus on one misconception that we have in 5th grade sometimes, and something that's a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to do this one all the way over here, the fourth one or the third one that you haven't done yet. Get out your paper. I wrote it all big on a piece of paper so you can see as I am doing the work in front of you. So friends, when we are adding decimals, we have to line up the two numbers so the decimals are right below each other or above each other. So friends, we have to make sure that the place values line up. So the ones place in the ones place, the tenths place in the tenths place, hundredths and hundreds, and then there's nothing in this thousands place, but there is a number in this thousands place. So we can't move this top number over. We have to make sure the place values line up when we're adding. Something that can be helpful with this is to put a imaginary 0 here. You can put a 0 after these numbers and it won't change the value of the number at all. So I can put like a dotted 0 to be a place filler to help me when I'm adding to know what to do. So let's start adding. 0 plus 2 is 2. 9 plus 3 is 12. 5, oh, you have to carry your 1. 5 plus 6 plus 1. Well, I know 5 plus 1 is 6, and 6 plus 6 is 12. And then I carry my 1 again, and I have 7 plus 4 plus 1. So I have to make sure I know 7 plus 1 is 8, 8 plus 4 is another 12. Friends, you have to make sure to bring down your decimal and put it in the same place as it was before. So you can see here, my answer is 12 and 222 thousandths. Remember how we say those numbers out loud. Now, friends, let's work on some subtraction. I'm going to do the one that they have already given you the answer to here, and I'm going to show you how to do that one so that you know how they got that answer. I have it written, blown up bigger so that you can see me do it. We're still going to use another color, red, to show what we're doing. So subtraction's a little bit more difficult because sometimes you have to borrow from other numbers, and that makes it a little bit confusing. So let's start just like we did before, all the way to the right, and this would be the thousandths place. So we now have 6 minus 3. We know that 3 take away from 6 is 3. Now I see 4 minus 7. I can't do 4 minus 7 because 7's bigger than 4. I have to borrow from the next number over. But as I'm looking, the next number over is a 0, and I can't borrow from the 0. There's nothing to take away from the 0. So then I have to go another number over, and once I get to the 3 in the ones place, I can borrow one of the ones. I would then have to cross out the 3. It turns into a 2, and I then carry over this to be 10 tenths. So this is supposed to make a 10 here. Now that's not where I stop. I have to then look at the 4. The 4 is what we really were trying to borrow for. And then I have to make my 10 into a 9, and I can then make my 4 into a 14. Now that it's 14 minus 7, I can do 14 minus 7. 7 take away from 14 is 7. Now I can do 9 minus 2, which is 7. And I bring down my decimal. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I got as an answer 1 and 773 thousandths, just like the answer on there. All right, friends, please send this to your teacher when you are done. We want to see your work. Thank you.